Good morning, people. One day, while out working at a job site for my last employer, I had the pleasure of having the boss man pull up on me unannounced. He never got out of his car. He just pulled up, rolled the window down, and said he wanted to speak to me for a minute. I obliged. He told me that he had heard from several sources that I was intending on starting my own lighting business like his. Although it had only been a thought prior and only something years out of from happening, I simply responded by saying it takes money that I don't have. It takes good credit that I don't have. With a clean record that I don't have, and definitely will require a bunch of influence. He looked at me with this look of relief and replied, "You're right. I'm sorry I bothered you with this." He rolled his window up, drove off. In that very same moment, I realized that I was the one who mumbled those words off. I then realized that it was only me holding myself back. Everyone loves a thrill ride. Well, when you act intentionally and deliberately about what you want and where you want to go in your life, you are literally creating the life you want out of your life. Listen up, people. Being intentional is not just about being committed. It is also about how much focus and attention you are willing to bring to the table. If you want to be intentional every day, you need to get clear up front about what you want to achieve and then take actions on achieving it. If you aren't getting up every morning being deliberate about what you want to achieve in a day, you will just keep on dreaming.
First Cup KC, unique, hustle hard music. Yeah, First Cup KC, start your day off with a cup of Joe and positive convo. First Cup KC, shine a light on the ones that work hard from Kansas to the Mo. First Cup KC, motivate, educate, inspire the youth to be great. First Cup KC, believe in yourself is the key to make a change. It's never too late. First Cup KC. This broadcast is a No Solutions podcast production. Yeah.
Today on the show, I am interviewing three great friends of mine. They are all associated with my next path in life, which happens to be public speaking and using my special talents to help other people become the best versions of themselves. They have all come from rocky paths, yet have all decided that they were not going to settle with where they were in their lives. Here to talk about how to elevate your life by simply changing your mindset and how you can become a part of the BTBY movement. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the Professor of Change, Bren Ringwood, the Intentional Healer, Isabella Louise Camacho Black, a.k.a. Izzy, and the Motivational Mentor, Heather Davis, to the show.
Hello.
Ladies. So my first question is, how in the heck did I get all three of you guys in the same room? I mean,
Well, when Bren says time to go, we get our stuff and we go because we are on a move.
On a move.
Yes.
And you guys haven't stopped moving. So I am going to start by just going down the line and helping give the listeners a better understanding of who we have on the show today. So, HD.
What's up?
You want to be the first to go?
Sure. I have a podcast, The Motivational Mentor. I also own a cleaning company, and I am part of BTBY. And I'm just a little behind on, or a little ahead of the journey that you're starting. I'm just becoming a speaker. So I think I've been on 1 virtual, 2 live on the stage. So I'm right ahead of you.
Right. I love it. I love it. Professor, a.k.a. 007.
Right.
You've been on the show before, but tell the listeners a little bit about who you are.
Well, who am I? I'm better than I was yesterday.
Yes, you are.
Way better than I was last year.
Say it.
And I am so far ahead of where I was a couple years ago.
That's what's up. Izzy?
It's Izzy the Intentional Healer, and I'm owner of Gigi's Natural Hippie Essentials and co-founder of Activate Your Power Now. Have a couple other nonprofits I got in the works and other things to come. But yeah, like we said, we're on a move. We're here to inspire others with our stories, our past, how we've overcome, and we've more than overcome. We've prevailed through a
Yes.
life of servancy. So we've dedicated our life to serve others.
Yes.
And that's really why we're here. That's why we jump when we hear it's an opportunity to come serve and reach others.
Yes. And the more you service other people, the more other people will service you.
Yes.
So my first question is, why public speaking? And I know that's a good question, but why? Why would you say?
For me, there's only a few ways of taking your experiences in life and your struggles and twisting them to where you can help other people.
All right.
One was writing, which we co-authored a book, and I did that, and it wasn't the same outcome that I wanted. So the other way is to get on a stage, and then you can actually interact with the people. You can see when they connect with you. You can see their reaction to what you're giving them. So also for me, finding my purpose was finding the thing that scared me the most,
Right.
and that was getting on a stage.
Getting out in front of things.
Yeah.
It's always scary that way, but guess what? What's good about scary stuff? Normally when it's scary, it's probably the right decision.
Right.
So, because it's all kind of greatness on the other side of the scaredness. So,
Exactly.
007.
You know, people think that speaking is just on a stage. But in reality, we speak if we're in sales. We speak to our children. We speak to our friends. We speak in our networking groups. So for me, I've always been a speaker. But the only way to get the message out is to be on a stage.
Right.
And the message that I want to get out to people is that they are enough. They don't need the world. They don't need to wait till their situation is right. That it doesn't matter what their past is. It doesn't matter where they are headed right now, but they can still reach their dreams.
Go deep on me then. Go deep on me. Izzy.
So I like to say that speaking chose me. I never had any intentions, dreams, or desires to get on a stage. I've always been a talker. I know it's hard to believe, everybody. But I actually used to get paid when I was younger to be quiet. So I would get paid $1 to be quiet for 15 minutes. And when my voice started being, looking back now, I was questioning things that needed questioned. And then I started being told to be quiet because I was always ruffling feathers everywhere I went. So I practiced being quiet for a long time, along with other disciplines. But it was with starting my business in 2021 that I took a speaker's class to learn how to scale my business, learn who my avatar and my customer was and how to speak to them, just so I can have a better sales experience, grow my business faster. During that class, I was told that I was not there to learn how to speak on my business. I was told by a higher source during meditation, and that I was there to share my story. So that took me a couple of weeks to debate back and forth because I didn't see how that could be, but it chose me literally, and God started showing me that every time I was told to be quiet, he would give me an opportunity to speak up again. And I kept answering the call. So it was like, good job, but just the awareness wasn't there, right, of my true purpose and stuff. So since that's there now, and I know I'm a healer of humanity, then it's my obligation, it's my due diligence to everybody to get on stage and share my story and my experience.
That's awesome. I think speaking is good because what it does for me, I have a lot of things going on in my head, a lot of experience that I've experienced that something inside is trying to push it out. And when that happens, you push it out on paper, you push it out. Some people push it out in blogs, podcasts, and there's a platform called the stage. I think the stage for me, why I'm so interested in it is because I watch you guys get up there, and when you guys give your story, you're not just giving your story. You're letting all this passion out, you know. And to me, you can tell a story, and anyone can tell a story. But telling a story, if it's not telling your journey, if it's not showing the passion, if it's not showing, if it's not bringing all of the things with you that came from those adventures out to everyone else, then what are you really doing?
It's just a story, yeah.
That's why I need to speak. I talk a lot and I got a lot to say. So with you guys coming into my life, it's kind of like this heaven sent blessing that now I don't have this abundance of energy just building up, because now I know that the things that I've been doing for the last year and a half they weren't all in vain. It's because there's a purpose for every single thing that I've done. So God, you guys are a blessing to just step up like this and just walk into my life and just say, psh, 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 you're coming with us. But activate your power. And since we're on you right now, and I know you're kind of like the go-getter in this area, I want you to talk a little bit about what Activate Your Power is, how it was created, and how can this actually help? How is it helping people?
So, again, I guess to follow up on the story of taking that class, it was part of our graduation assignment to schedule out what they called a conversion event. So we had to get on stage and commit to 8 to 12 minute speech it was supposed to be our business, but there was a group of us, James Griffin, Shauna Collins, TC Woodbury or Tokyo, and Roberta O'Keefe. So we did our conversion event December 8th of 2021, and we called it Activate Your Power Now. So it was just part of our assignment. Mm-hmm. And the feedback, so the people that were in the audience that day were really just supporters, people congratulating us for graduating and stuff, not there to be activated.
Right.
But when we were done and people came and thanked us for doing that, and they started saying things like, wow, you really resurfaced something that God's nudged me years ago and said, I'm going to be sharing my story, or I'm going to be writing a book, or I'm going to be this. But I never knew how, but you've just inspired me. So we knew that we wanted to give the community there at Unity Southeast something more than just a one-time graduation. So we had already committed with our graduation to do something more. We didn't know what. But after that, James and I talked and we said, we're going to give them 12 months, because if we inspired, it was a handful of people that first time unintentionally. And we said, well, how many if we keep this going? So we committed to 12 months and we have different topics. And it turned into not just having aspiring speakers that were coming out of the class or seasoned speakers who have come onto the stage also, but each month we're taking people from the audience who are being activated and they're getting on the calendar. Because what I've learned with this is that if you're nudged to have that release, you said, if you know that you've been told you're going to tell your story and you see yourself on stage or telling it with your voice, not with a book. I realize that when I get on stage, like you said, and you just pour out, it's the next phase of a healing for me. And I think it's because I am so high strung and my vibration's very fast and it's always going, that it's a physical release. So each time it's been strange, because each time, December, January, February, like it was unanimously with our group, each time we'd get up and speak, we would take like 2 weeks to recover, because we were opening boxes that we thought were closed for good. And what we've realized as we keep going is now I'm looking forward to the next. It's an adrenaline looking forward, because I know it's a release. I don't get built up anymore.
Right.
And then but the whole point and the whole goal of it, what it's turned into, is literally activating people in the community. So right now we're serving at Unity Southeast. we have people driving to there and stuff on the second Wednesday of the month. But I just lost track. I'm sorry. We don't want, we're inspiring people from that community to know, or in that church already, to know that they are in control of their life. They can change the narrative at any time, regardless. It doesn't matter what your past was, what's going on now, what you're fearful for the future. The choice is yours. So that's what activation means, is just acknowledging that nudge that's already been there.
Yes.
And deciding
Like
to
the
take
thing.
the next step.
Yes.
So I like to tell people you have to be activated before you can start your journey of becoming the best you. You have to know that there's something to make better.
Right. It's
Some
got to be
people
a
are
point.
happy with what is.
It's that turning point. It's that point where you say enough is enough, and you go from the victim to the victor.
Right.
And I like the whole scenario of how that's going. So you said 12 months.
Yes.
You guys are in the 12th. So I recently went to one of those events. I think the very last one you guys had.
Last week or were you week
It
and a
was
half
my-
ago? Yeah.
It was my first one. And I missed a couple of the speakers. I missed yours. You were first, right?
Second,
So I missed who's the first one?
Rob.
Oh, I missed that one too, huh? Yeah, that's right. I did, because I met him that night, and we've been conversing back and forth since then. But so I missed those two. I walked in when Tokyo was up.
Okay.
Very interesting story. Very interesting approach. And the reason why I say that is because I understand the last part of my life is his life. You know, with me being or going from a ghetto environment where it's all African Americans to living in a mostly Caucasian community, with everyone pretty much around me being 85% Caucasian, I understood what he was saying. So I definitely, and then James got up. And to me, that was the first time I got to see James speak. For some reason, I thought he was a timid speaker until I'm like, literally, I thought he was a timid speaker because he's quiet and he's not so open. And when he went to I seen his little setup, and I'm like, okay, let me see how this guy. And he got up there, and I'm like,
Amazing. Yeah.
oh my
He has
God.
a podcast. It's
Yeah,
pretty fun to follow
His
also.
podcast is pretty funny. It's a totally different side of him.
Yeah, pretty neat. Blew me away. But in order to know people, you got to get out there and meet people. You got to get out there and get vocal with people. And I'm glad that I came to the event. I'm like swamped with so much other stuff that I got to do.
Yeah, we
that
appreciate it.
It felt good to just, and because I talked to Bren, and you was like, yeah, come on out. You can make all the excuses you want. What she didn't realize is she's supposed to say, hey, look, ain't I'm supposed to be your agent? Get over here. And I would have, but that's one of the reasons why, because she said, look, I'm dedicated to helping you get to where you want to be in your life. And in order for you to get there, you're going to have to start stepping up to the plate on certain things.
I'd love to have you as a speaker on Activate Your Power Now. So 2023, we're branching out we'll have 4 different locations that we'll be dedicating.
Is that going to be in Kansas?
1 day a month
and
for
Missouri?
12 months. So we'll have one in Independence, Missouri. We'll be at Unity Southeast for another 12 months. Johnson County. So we're still setting up the location. And Topeka, Kansas. So, and each one will have its own topics, and because we're trying to activate the community. So we're not taking what we do in the inner city to Johnson County. Johnson County and Nears need a different kind of activating. And that's what we're trying to do, meet people where they're at, and let's just
figure out
seek
what it's
within
gonna
ourselves and see how we can do better. See
Yeah.
where the gaps are.
That's what's up. Now, when I first heard about the BTBY, I just didn't have a clue that it was this large. I mean, I knew that it was a platform that was being worked. Seen a lot of energy. You can tell when you step in a room where the energy is.
Right.
And I felt all the energy. I knew it was there. I remember the first time I saw Heather. I met both of you two at the same time. Yep. You were just loud and boisterous. Hey, what you doing? Hey, you looking for us? We're over here. Come over here. That's why I call you HD.
That's right.
No, but
definition.
I just didn't have a clue that it was this big. And then I just got the following and doing a little research. And the deeper I fell down the rabbit hole, you guys are like branched out all over the country. So this isn't just a movement that's just here.
It's everywhere.
Well, why is it everywhere? Because someone here took it everywhere.
Because it's needed.
It is needed. But guess what? It isn't just needed. People like you are needed.
Yeah.
You know, we say things are needed, but things are nothing without the people behind those things.
Yes,
And
this is true, but it also takes teamwork, and I have a wonderful team.
you do. But like I say, you could take the credit away from yourself as much as you want. But it takes people like you and you and you to actually do these things and get these things going, because this stuff doesn't happen on its own. But it also takes darkness. It takes problems. It takes a need to overcome. It takes a need to be better.
Brings new challenges.
Yes, it does.
To activate these type of emotions and feelings to get you prompt. You did a stint in jail.
I did.
And you came out with this resilience that this was something that just happened in your life, and that was just a chapter in your life, and you weren't going to let it ruin you. So what you did is you created a movement that wasn't just about you, that was about helping you and others be the best versions of yourself. And it's called Becoming the Best You, which is simple. I mean, it's not that hard to even roll off the tongue. Becoming the best version of you. Why that title, and why this movement?
Well, you know, I'm an author. I have several books out. So I'm going to say that your life is just the title to your book of eternity.
Right.
So you can choose to let it be a story that goes nowhere, that holds you back, or you can choose to use it as a story to get you somewhere. And everybody thinks, oh, nobody wants what I have. Nobody's going to find me interesting. Nobody wants to know my story. But people are watching. Somebody
Always
is watching. And somebody needs to hear what we have to offer. So we tend to bring in people from different communities, different cultures, different backgrounds, you name it, different ages. I mean, we have young ones to not so young that are actually, experience. There you go. That come and tell you about their life. And it's not about the rich and famous. It's not about the few percentage of people that make it to fame. It is about ordinary people that are doing extraordinary things to make great changes in people's lives. And the only one stopping you is the person in the mirror.
Yeah.
So that's what the movement is about. And I still struggle. We just had some things happen not too long ago, and my old nature wanted to come out. And it was a fight to keep it
Contain.
Yes. But I had to take my own advice, and I had to just learn to let it go. And it took some time. I'm not going to say that it didn't. But why the best version? And why is it called Becoming the Best Version, or Becoming the Best You? To becoming the best version of yourself is because you deserve it. Your family deserves it. Your friends deserve it. And if you don't think that that's possible, then you need to come to one of these events, because it is very possible.
Yeah.
Very possible.
It definitely is. It definitely is. And speaking of events, before we get into the upcoming event, because there is a event coming up that you don't want to miss, tell us about some of your previous events, because you guys have had some pretty nice events popping off, and I've looked at the websites and I've seen your face all over the place.
Well, we want to let people know that change is possible, but you have to want it.
Yeah.
So if you don't want the change and you're content where you are, then this movement isn't for you. But if you do need to change, and I'm here to tell you that everybody needs to change, we need to strive to be better every day, then this movement is for you. And these events, our virtuals are free. Everybody that gets on a virtual, and it consists of about 30 people to produce it, to have the speakers, the commercials, everything that is involved with this is over about 30 people to do. And they donate their time. Right. Yeah. So we have a lot of free stuff for people to get educated on. We also have the BTBY TV show, which is becoming the Best You TV that Isabel co-hosts with me. And it's free for people to watch. It's there so people can hear their situation through somebody else.
Right.
Because somebody has been through what you're going through. Yeah. And you just need to be able to relate to that. And then our events, we do charge admission for those because we have to pay for the food in the venue. But the price is so reasonable for what you get. And the family that you build through these connections is what helps you get through it. It's not the event. Yeah. It's the people.
Yeah.
And the stories. It's like everyone thinks their life is just this boring story of failures and experiences. And then you sit down and you start putting it out there and you start getting this feedback back like, oh my God, you too? Mm-hmm. And it's like, yeah, all of us. We all go through the same stuff, just different levels of it at different points in time. So the BTBY movement is a very strong movement, and it's not just affecting this community. It's affecting so many other communities. You guys just came back from an event with Patch Adams, and how was that event?
You know, the community of West Virginia, Ronsford, West Virginia, Lewisburg area.
West Virginia.
Yes, I'm from West Virginia.
All
so I am from by God, Virginia. Yes. So I get to go back to that when I travel. Yeah. And anytime I'm in the East Coast area, I always go back to West Virginia because I have family there. So it's my roots. But that was it was a BTBY sponsored event, but it was not a BTBY event. Mm-hmm. But that's right. But we have the connections to do that for anybody, wherever, and we show up.
Right. I do want to give some shots out to some of your lovely supporters. You got Anthony Russo, and how does he help you guys out?
He MCs all of our virtuals along with Terrence Leftridge. He's one of our speakers. He's been very supportive. He's allowed us to be on his show to get the word out. And he is called Mr. Failure. So he talks about failing your way to success.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Very good man. I've definitely been following him. I watched a couple of his podcasts here the last couple of days. Awesome setup. I love it. I love his energy. You can tell he's in the radio. You can you could just tell his energy on the microphone is just phenomenal. Another person I want to bring up, of course, is you mentioned him earlier, Terrence.
The unstoppable Coach Leftridge.
Unstoppable. Yes. This guy he's full of energy. He has a lot of energy. I noticed when I did my virtual speech, that they were kind of like the co-hosts around that, along with you. You were in there too. But I noticed that they have a matchable energy.
They are completely opposite with the same energy, if that makes any sense.
Yes, that's why I say it's matchable. It's not the same, it's just matchable. And it's like...
And wait till you see him in person.
I felt like I've already seen him in person. And that's why I'm like, who are these guys? And then you're like, Terrence is in Florida. Anthony is in Texas. And it's like, wow. And then to bring up another person who's currently preparing me for fame, I have to give credit to Maud. She's basically, you want to tell everyone who she is and what she does. Because like I said, there's so many people that's involved in what's going on here that don't really get brought to the surface of what's going on. And
Maud handles back office stuff, and she's handled websites and techie stuff.
Yes.
So, everybody needs a back office.
Yes.
I don't care who that person is, you need a back office.
Yes.
And that helps run the things that happen smoothly.
Golly, and all these wonderful speakers, Corey and and Regina, and I mean, every day I would look at, I jump on social media, you got another one just popping up, and all of these guys are coming up in the next event, right?
Yeah.
And this next event is where we're going to the next question.
Yes.
What is this next event? And I know it's in St. Louis, and I know it's at the end of October, right?
21st, 23rd.
And it's going to be something that no one wants to miss.
That's true. There is
Only
so much in store for this
The
one.
ones that want to be activated, right?
Right.
So if you want
And
to be
only if
activated,
you need change.
yes, and we all need change. But I want you guys to zone in on the next couple minutes because you don't want to miss out on the information that we're about to go over. This event is definitely a life-changing event. If you guys are tired of living the same thing over and over and over again, chasing your tail, just running in circles, and you just don't know how to break the cycle, we got something for you.
Mm-hmm.
So who wants to explain this big event?
I'll start by saying I'm opening the show on the 21st, so don't miss that. Don't be late because you're going to miss me. So make sure you're there. I know I'm
She
always
likes to
late. Don't
dance.
hold me accountable for that. Just be there on time so you don't miss me. I'm opening the show, and it's going to be so much fun. I'm excited. I have a special treat with my intro, so
You gonna dance
hold
for
on
us,
to your pants, and I just want to let people know that, you know, I lived a good part of my life in cycles that I was
break.
blind to for a long time. Then I became aware and didn't know what to do with them. But anything's possible if you want change and you're willing to put forth the work and leave the excuses behind. That's what I'm there to share with people, how I left the excuses behind and I stepped into my truth.
So this event is the 21st, 22nd, 23rd, which is a Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
In Clayton, Missouri, which is in St. Louis,
So
the
it's
Clayton
a-
Plaza Hotel. Yes.
Right. So, so 3 day, and I want to walk everyone through this because this event is something that needs to be, because this is close. We're talking crunch time here.
Yeah, it's about a
People
month
better
away.
start getting tickets, and people better start getting tickets and all that
That's
stuff.
right.
Right.
These two gals right here actually attended the February event.
Yeah.
And look at the transformation.
Yeah, I've seen the talks. I haven't got to see you talk yet, and that speech did get posted, right? So I gotta go back and I gotta be your critic. So
Oh, she did
Bring it.
wonderful.
She
yeah,
did.
I love critics though, because to me that's the building block of life. When you have somebody to sit back and tell you everything you did wrong,
That's right.
not right, because I know what I'm doing right. I'm based in that
and even
stuff.
when you do it right, you still can do it better.
Yes, always better. I love better. I had a guest on the show a couple of weeks ago, Sherry Berger. She hit me with something. She said, "Is the glass half full or the glass half empty?" And I said, "Half full." And she said, "No, it's always fillable." So I'm like,
Nice.
so you can always learn more and more and more and more, like 007 just said. And for y'all that don't understand why I call her 007, because she's an agent. You know what I'm saying? She's the best there is, right? So, all right. But anyway, the show is 3 days. What's going on Friday?
Friday, we open up at 5. You can come in around 3 and register if you want, but the doors will open at 5. Isabel will be kicking us off. And we have some speakers that are just phenomenal. I think Saucony Prince is on Friday. If he's not, I'm pretty sure he's on Friday. He talks about, let me introduce you to yourself. Because sometimes we don't know who we are. We have Prince Michael, who went from homeless to homeowner. We have Jennifer Lauren, who is the head singer, songwriter, or vocalist, I guess is what the correct terminology is, for a band called Diamonds and Whiskey. And she suffers with Lyme's disease. It's progressed because she didn't get diagnosed right away. And she still struggles with that, but she's not letting it stop her. So she's going to tell her story.
Wow.
And she's going to talk about her dream. And then her band is performing Saturday night.
Really?
She's going to show us that dream. And she is, I think, North Carolina's Female Vocalist of the Year. Yes.
So she's coming all the way from the East Coast.
Yes, she is.
So, and this is all just Friday.
Well, she's speaking Friday. And then
the band Saturday.
Right. So we have several speakers on Friday, and then Saturday we have several speakers as well. But we also have a source of other side hustle jobs that we can show you how to make some money on the side. We also have breakouts. We have 8 breakout sessions that you can pick 2. So there's 4 of them from 3 to 4, and then there's 4 of them from 4 to 5, and you can pick one of those 4. So you get 2 of 8 breakout sessions. And so you're going to learn, you get to pick the speaker that you want, and you get to go in there and you get to learn from them. And then we dismiss and we come back for a black tie event at 6:30, and you get fed, you get to dance, you get to hear a comedian. Jeremy Nunez is going to do about a 45-minute comedy show. Yes. And then we have Jennifer Lawrence with Diamonds and Whiskey that's going to give us a concert.
And that's Saturday.
That's Saturday. And then Sunday, it's all starts over again. And Terrence he's going to talk about being accountable for your life, being accountable to your purpose. Because we can say we want to do something, but if we're not held accountable for it, then we just brush it off. So he's going to talk about that. Anthony, I'm not sure what he's going to talk about this time because sometimes he changes that up. He is speaking on Sunday. And then we have a gal called Definitely Holly. You have to check her out. She's got a huge following. She's going to give you some really good advice. I mean, it's just there's 28 of us.
There's
28 of us. And you're going to speak over lunch.
You hear that, y'all? I'm going to be yapping these jaws at lunch.
The most
you don't want to miss that.
The most things that we hear about that is the best thing about the event is the one-on-one connection with the speakers.
Yeah.
We want the speakers to be there the entire time. And during breaks, they will visit with you. They will take you, sit you down, and have one-on-one conversations with you. So you're basically getting free coaching for 3 days from people who are just amazing coaches. Dean Storer is going to be there, and he talks about you have to act like you're in possession of what you already want. Speak it into existence.
Gotta speak
Act
it.
like you want it. Show people that you want it, and then go get it. So he talks about many things in that area. Just on and on and on. I could just talk about so many things. We have health coaches that are coming. Man, we have Tommy Morgan coming. He totally transformed his body, and now he competes with bodybuilding. And he just does a phenomenal job. His energy is going to make you leave there wanting to change how you see your health.
Wasn't he on the virtual?
He was.
Because I went through it and watched all the listeners later on when you guys posted it. But it was a lot of powerful speakers.
We have Lotus Roche as well. So she's going to be there. She's got her little show. It's not a little show. It's actually watched by lots and lots of followers. She's an author, a very dear friend of mine. She's coming. She was not there in February. She had an ill family member, but she's coming. And you're just going to be amazed at what she's going to teach you. Her experience in life.
Regina going to be there too?
Regina, yes. Regina's going to be there.
I've heard her talk once, and crazy thing about that is that's when you guys had, what's the ex model? The Mrs. America.
Yes, Tanya Gibson.
Yes, Tanya Joy Gibson, and then the Mary Crossgrove, and Tokyo performed, and what's his name from...
Ruben West.
Ruben, strong voice.
Yes,
Powerful
Ruben
voice.
is going to be there. He's our keynote for Saturday. He does a lot of work over in Kenya. He does quite a bit of work here in the United States with I Change Nations. And also one of his partners they own a dojo together, is coming, Kevin Wilson. He's going to give us some info on finances. Yeah, this guy is a self-made millionaire.
Information on finance.
Yes.
We all need information on finances.
Yes.
So this event right here is something that, it sounds like something that you should definitely sacrifice to make sure you get to.
We cover you from health to finance.
Man.
And everything in between. Mental, physical.
All stuffed
experiences.
in 3 days.
Yes, all stuffed in. You walk out of there, as Terrence says, with a conference hangover. So then we do a program afterwards to avoid having after conference hangover. So for about the next 10 days after that, we still do it.
So you guys got it all mapped out.
We
all
do.
the way from the beginning, all the way to the last bite of food. Wow.
It's designed for change. If you don't change or think that you need to change when you leave this conference, then you just came to the wrong conference because you've got a mindset and a heart that's so hard that it's going to take a tragedy to change it.
Yeah.
So don't wait for that.
Yeah, a lot of times we tend to do that. We tend to hold out. Oh, what is someone going to tell me that I don't already know? Well, look where you're at.
I'm guilty.
You know,
I learned that listening newly is a very important thing. Even if we've heard the same words today already, go with the intention to learn newly. That means hear the same words, but because we're growing every day, that means we're coming with a new awareness with hearing that same message. So we can still learn from it.
Yeah. Oh, how many times have you watched a movie?
Right.
And every single
I didn't see
time
that
you
part
watch
last
it,
time.
or
I
you
didn't
just
realize
didn't
that
get
last
it.
time. Yeah.
I've sung songs like literally said the same words over and over and over again, not even realizing what the words meant. And then I'm like, one day, like, click.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I don't think I should be saying that. That's what
It
that
happens.
means. I didn't know that. And
Yes.
it's crazy. Awareness.
Well, and I think that for me, it's been so eye-opening because I would say I had a pretty whitewashed, sheltered life. And when I went to that first conference in February, I met all these people and I'm like, wow, like, because my thing was my story is nothing like Izzy's or Corey or Regina or any of these people, you or
How come it
Bren.
ain't?
And I'm like, how do I fit here?
But how come it ain't? Because, you know, you have stories of people, and I'm not saying you're bad or wife or anything, but you have people that have gangster stories.
Right.
And then you got people that have bad or wife stories. And then you have people that have stories where they have had internal issues with themselves that have created so many blocks from society that is a story
And
in
that's
itself.
it. And
that is a war going on inside.
And that's the thing, as Bren told me, was you may not relate. Everyone won't relate to us, but somebody will relate to me.
Yeah.
And that's why I have to tell my story.
You have to. And another thing about telling your story, before we even get off this subject, it is therapeutic to you.
It's healing.
I'm writing this book. And of course, you know, because 007. But I'm writing this book, and it's hard because it's therapeutic. I mean, I have moments where I say, nope, I ain't ready for that. And I literally push it away and say, I'm done for a minute because I don't want to encounter that part of that moment. But
Sometimes you have to face it to move forward.
and when I do,
Mm-hmm.
it rushes by you and you can literally feel yourself healing like, oh man, it was that easy. It wasn't that hard.
Mm-hmm. And it's in your past.
That's why I'm saying it is important to continue moving in a direction that's going to get you where you're trying to go. If you're trying to stay where you are, if you're trying to stay in misery, if you're wanting to continue to be this victim, like you said, don't come to the conference.
Right.
Don't try to help yourself. Don't ask for change. But if you don't want the change and you don't think that it's going to do anything for you, but you know deep down inside you're screwing yourself up, don't do it for yourself. Sometimes you just got to do it for the people around you, because once you see the joy in the faces of the people seeing you getting that help or changing yourself, it starts pushing you, because now you're like, wow, everyone notices, you know? And I think that's how I was. I was like, I just went to school, and everyone's like, oh, he went to school. And it's like, oh, okay, a little more here, a little more there. Oh, he's doing this, you know? And now I'm like, boom. And everybody's like, wow. And it's just pushing me even farther. So St. Louis is not, if you have guests and speakers that can travel from Texas and Florida and West Virginia and North Carolina and all these different
California.
places in California, yes, if you can have guests that can travel that far just to tell a story that might possibly help you or help anyone, I think that it shouldn't be that big of a deal for someone to just go a state over and try to change.
It will be the best $300 you have spent in a while. And, you know, we blow money on dumb stuff.
Yeah.
And, you know, to the point that we don't even spend money on our own health.
Yes.
We wait until it deteriorates to come back and then try to fix it. So if you take the approach of what if I could prevent that from happening, how far ahead would I be? So you have to think of it that way. And if you really want something and you think that you are not good enough, then you are the only person standing in your way, because you are enough. You already have your talents. You might not have the experience, but that can come.
Yeah.
You already have gifts, and your story is worth changing.
Sure
Changing.
is.
You can dwell on the past and you can live in the past, but you will be miserable. Or you can use the past to not repeat and to continue down a path with that fuel that'll get you to the next phase of your life. And that's what BTBY is about, getting you to the next phase.
So, with that being said, how can the listeners and viewers get the information they need about this upcoming conference and everything else about the BTBY movement? And after you tell the listeners that, I also want them to know about what's going on. I want you guys to just kind of like give some information on the BTBY movement, and then the Activate Your Power, because that is a continuous thing that continuously keeps you grounded to the people that are going to take you where you need to go. Right. Got to surround yourself around those people. Right. And you guys are those people. So, ComeChangeYourLife.com. Tell them about it.
That is, we went with Come Change Your Life as the title for our website instead of something with Becoming the Best You, because we want you to come change your life. Right. So ComeChangeYourLife.com. You can see the speakers. Not all of the speakers that are on there will be speaking at this event, but the majority of them will. We'll be having the schedule out soon. But those are our speakers that travel with us and do things with us. We also try to always have a speaker from the community that we're going to be in. So when we go down to Florida, we'll have some people that are local there that will speak. And we just really want people to get involved with their own life.
Yeah.
Sometimes we check out of it.
We do, because we're spending so much time checking in everyone else's. Don't never take the time out for ourselves, when that's probably the one that you got to take care of you. ComeChangeYourLife.com. They can purchase tickets. What's the tickets? So I know you said
they're $2.99, and that's for all 3 days. It includes food. It does not include hotel, so you would have to, if you don't live in the area. But we do have a room block, but you also don't have to stay there. Then we have virtual tickets for $49 all 3 days, and then we have just Saturday night. So if you're in the area and you're looking for date night or a fun night, you get to come to a comedian show, you get to eat, and you get to have a concert for $50. Yeah. It's a great price.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's crazy because you get to throwing around dollars and people get to getting scared and stuff, and it's like, oh man, but then the new Jordans come out, or that new Xbox come out, or it kind of gets a little crazy. But
and they'll go in debt to get it covered.
Yeah. So I've learned in the past that the best investments you can make are the investments that you make on yourself.
It's just like the airline person telling you got to put the oxygen on you before you can help somebody else.
Yes.
With your own family, if you don't take care of yourself, how can you take care of them?
Yes.
If you're not healthy mentally, your world is going to collapse.
And this is, so you have a stage full of psychiatrists.
Pretty much.
Well, psychiatrists and psychiatrists that have experienced the messages. And that's a big difference.
And we do actually have 2 medical doctors that speak as well. We have Dr. Rick. He's actually here in Kansas City area. And then we also have Dr. C.B. Helsel that's going to be speaking this time. And she's out of St. Joe, Missouri. So she's driving up to St. Louis.
Golly, y'all got the whole staff. Y'all got everything everything up in here, huh? So that's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, the 21st, 22nd, 23rd of October. Cancel those Halloween parties, y'all.
That's the following weekend.
Yeah, but some people have them the weekend, the following.
We'll get you some treats.
So, hey, I'll put a sheet on. Woo! But no, come change your life. A lot of people don't understand the life that they can have if they just choose it. We spend a lot of time griping, complaining, comparing. You know, you get on social media and you look at other people's lives and you think those lives are happy, and all those filters make it look happy. But guess what? The happy ones are the ones out helping. You
That's
know,
right.
the happy people are the ones that are giving back what they're blessed to have. So come change your life with us, guys. Thank you guys for coming on the show. I know you guys know the drill. Before I leave, before we let these listeners go off to doing what they do, whatever they do on their Saturday mornings, we love to leave them with a positive message. So, HD, you are first.
Positive. I would just say you're worth it. Like, that's it. It's that simple.
You are worth it.
Because for me, it's been a lot of years of I'm not worth it. I don't deserve it or whatever. And the reality is it's just that simple. You're worth it.
You're worth it. You hear that, guys? No matter what you think, you better start thinking differently, because you are worth it. You are 007.
I'm going to have to say what we talk about at the end of our TV show. Change your mindset.
Yes.
Change your actions. And I guarantee it will change your life.
That's just to give a little clue. That's what I'm going to be speaking about.
Good.
That's my strongest belief, is the mindset. Where
That's
your
right.
mind at? You know, you got to get your mind out of wherever it's at if it's stopping you from getting where you want to be. You got to get it out of
I'm
there.
going to be talking about don't go back to where you were.
Ooh, and you know, that's easy. You know, because I call it the twins, because you got your new self and you got your old self, and they just battle like brothers. They just battle back and forth. People don't ever understand how the internal battles are. Like you almost had your internal battle last week or a couple of weeks ago, and
It didn't almost. It happened.
but see, you have a community
I do.
of people who understands about the twins, and who understands that, oh, we better send somebody over to break those two apart, because if we don't, you know, it can turn into anything.
That's right.
And guess what? That newer version of you stood up.
It did.
She stood up and she said, look here, I got a lot of people watching me. I got a lot of people that need me right now to continue to be who I am. And that's who I'm going to be right now. So you sit your little butt down and we'll get back to you a little later. And that's pretty much what happened, because you're sitting here now, you got your game face back on, and we're moving. And St. Louis is right around the corner. So
It is. And, no matter who you are and how great your life might be, you still have those struggles. And for me, I had to go back and just reevaluate where I'm at. And then I looked at where I've been just the last 6 months. And, when those struggles happen, it's because of growth. And when you have people involved, they don't want to see you grow.
yeah.
So find a different circle.
Yeah, you got to keep it moving. That's
right.
Keep it moving.
That's right.
And that's one of my cups coming up. So let me stop giving up on here and everything.
Oh, your secret.
But yes, I know. Izzy.
Okay,
First of all, before you even say nothing, I gotta get a quick dance move somewhere.
yes, get it.
I can't do it like you. I can't do it like you.
Sometimes I don't know I can do it either until I do it, and then I'm like, okay, here it is. My takeaway would be that we all have a divine purpose, a divine ultimate purpose, way bigger than our ego or what we've ever thought we're capable in our own life and in what it should look like. And like you said, don't look to your neighbor to validate your purpose, your divine purpose. Don't look at your neighbor to validate yours. Know that whatever brings you peace, that's probably in alignment with your purpose. That's probably, or it is your purpose. For some, it's cooking. For some, it's just their quietness. For some, it's our voice. But we're not all doctors, lawyers, and police officers. So stand in your truth, own it, and know that if you just get connected with your higher source, he's going to pave a way for you to change the world. That's what we're here to do.
That's what's up. That's what's up. Thank you guys for coming on the show and bringing all your positivity. And hopefully, man, we can gather up a crap ton of people and help lead them to a new life, because it's a lot of lives that need to be changed. Yeah. The world is at a bad place right now, which, I mean, the media kind of makes it look like it's changed when it's always been that way. But now we have more resources. We have more people that are willing to tell their stories and use their voice to do this. And I appreciate what you guys do. I appreciate you guys coming into my life and helping me figure out some of the things that I needed to figure out in my life, where I wanted to go. You guys helped pull me up off the chair, because you can sit down and you can do your first cups and you can do all of that stuff for as long as you want. But guess what? Sometimes you got to get right up in people's face. And this new adventure that I'm embarking on, it's giving me that opportunity to get up close and personal. So, man, I appreciate everything you guys do. Don't stop being the people that you are, because you guys are beautiful people. And who cares about that old person? That old person is just an old reflection of what you used to be. This new person is a reflection of everyone else, what you can be. So thank you guys for being who you are. Come on over. You guys go over to changeyourlife.com. Make sure you get your tickets. Like Bren said, you don't have to buy the $299 ticket if you can't afford it. But guess what, guys? Don't miss out on it. Get the $50 ticket if you have to get it. But man, who wouldn't want to go see the Arch? You know, come on down to St. Louis, guys. Do something scary for once. You know, get out of your element, get out of your comfort zone. Who cares what your spouse or your best friend, or if there's someone like that in your life that's going to stop you or prevent you from possibly changing your life, that's just a naysayer. Do the opposite. Come on over and change your life. Thank you guys for joining me with another episode of the First Cup KC. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday, and like always, stay positive, people.